A massive fire in Lagodi destroyed a large portion of the city square. We'll have more on that. Plus, the town of Ferdinand is continuing to work on removing phosphorus from water, and Purdue Extension educator Jan Dugan is tonight's guest on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin with sad news from Lagodi as a massive fire leveled part of the city's downtown square earlier today. According to Martin County Dispatch, fire crews were called to Rosie's Shirts and Gift Shop on the square at 10 o'clock this morning on the reported blaze. Multiple buildings, including Rosie's, Lori's Flowers, His and Hers Beauty Salon, and the Cartridge Depot, were fully engulfed in flames. Authorities say no injuries were reported in this fire. Early reports suggest that the fire started inside of Rosie's when a glue gun sparked. US 231 through Lagodi was shut down for several hours today while fire crews fought the blaze. The Lagodi and Shoals Fire Departments, the Crane Aerial Truck, Cannelberg Fire Department, Reeve Township Fire Department, Martin County Sheriff's Department, Martin County EMS, and Martin County Civil Defense all fought the fire. We would like to thank Alan Williams with our sister station WRZR-FM in Lagodi for this video. Efforts to remove excess phosphorus from the town of Ferdinand's water supply are continuing to move forward. Last night, the Ferdinand Town Council received a draft memorandum from Commonwealth engineers about a recently completed study on the issue. The study came about after new phosphorus limits were set by the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. IDEM set the limit at 1 milligram of phosphorus per liter of water. The Ferdinand Wastewater Plant average is currently at 5 milligrams per liter. Now, the study lays out several alternatives for reducing the level of phosphorus in the water. The two main options are chemical removal and biological removal. Chemical removal would cost an estimated $205,000 for the town to go through with. That's compared to more than $1.1 million for the biological method. The council chose going with the chemical removal method. Other options involve the processing of sludge disposal from the wastewater plant. The three alternatives that Commonwealth presented here are continued liquid land application, belt filter press with landfill disposal, and drying beds. The drying beds came in as the most inexpensive option at just over $1.4 million. Each of the other two options had an estimated price tag of nearly $1.7 million. Other costs involved with the project would include regular operation and maintenance costs, and those would come out to roughly $190,000 a year for the town. Wastewater Superintendent Roger Schaefer says getting the phosphorus levels in the water down is needed in order to maintain water quality.
The phosphorus is hurting your creeks, ditches, your water streams. It's hurting more of the aquatic life and things like that down the line, like your fish, anything that gets into the water. So the federal government wants us to remove the phosphorus to make it a safer body of water.
Schaefer says the phosphorus removal will likely drive up rates for town residents. He says those numbers will be determined once more information on the total cost is gathered. The town would also have to increase its sludge storage capacity. The town currently has 40,000 gallons of capacity. The needed storage space is 240,000 gallons. The Indiana Youth Institute says agriculture-based jobs may be the way to go for students in Du Bois County and beyond who are struggling to gain hold in the current job market. IYI President and CEO Bill Stanzakavich says many students don't consider farm-based careers for a number of reasons. However, he says recent data suggests that these type of jobs will be in high demand.
Well, according to Future Farmers of America, as a world, we need to grow as much food in the next 40 years as we've grown in the last 8,000 years to account for projected world population growth. Indiana is going to be right in the middle of that. We're the 9th largest agriculture state in the country. We're top 5 in some important crops like corn and soybean and eggs, hogs and ducks. We're even top 2 when it comes to popcorn and ice cream. So all that data add up to plenty of job opportunities for today's students.
Stanzakavich says agribusiness is currently a $25 billion a year industry in Indiana. He He says there are roughly 300 different career options in the agribusiness industry, and most of those are actually skill-based jobs.
Anything from the scientists who are creating the next crops and the next fertilizers and the next pest controls, to folks in liberal arts professions to sell these materials and do the financial work and the legal work. There are just a wide range of jobs that are available. Computer technology is huge on the farm, whether it's on the tractor and the combine, whether it's in the drying bins. And these jobs pay a wide range of wages, all of which you can support your family with.
Stanzakavich says technology will be a big part of the future in agribusiness. He says computer technology is already found in everything on the farm, including tractors and combines. Stanzakavich says technology will have a key role in farmers maximizing their crop yields down the road.
We just had a record harvest in Indiana in corn and soy this year with far less land than we used 50 years ago. How do you do that? Technology and people. Technology plays a huge role in terms of the development of seeds and pest controls and fertilizers. Technology on the tractor helps the farmer maximize yield out in the field. Technology helps the farmer be aware of the world economy and to sell that product at the greatest maximum profit.
In closing, Stanzakavich says students who go into the agribusiness field can play a key role in the world economy into the future.
Students who enter agribusiness, you're feeding the world and you're part of the world economy. And, when weather hits the farms in South America, it affects the farms in southern Indiana. The volume of crop matters as it relates to price, and the different politics across the world, and trade agreements, and export and import quotas that various nations impose on each other. All of this plays into the local farmer in and around Jasper.
For more information on these agribusiness opportunities, you can go to the Indiana Youth Institute's website. That's www.iyI.org. Click on the Feeding the World story at the top of the home page. Indiana health officials hope a summit meeting this week will help find answers to the state's high infant mortality rate. State Health Commissioner Jerome Adams called it startling and heartbreaking that one baby dies every 13 hours in Indiana. Adams announced the state would host the Summit of State, National, and Local Leaders tomorrow at the Indiana Convention Center. The summit is the second annual meeting called by state leaders to examine the problem. In 2011, the Indiana infant mortality rate was 7.7 deaths per 1,000 live births, the sixth highest in the nation. The rate measures deaths among babies in their first year of life. The measurement is considered to be a key indicator of a state's well-being. Finally this evening, a Purdue University agricultural economist says Thanksgiving food shoppers will find adequate supplies of turkeys, but possibly at higher prices depending on the type and whether grocers pass increases on to customers. Corin Alexander tracks food price trends and says wholesale prices of turkeys this year are expected to be 8 to 10% higher than last year. She says the U.S. Department of Agriculture predicts wholesale prices for Eastern market whole turkey will be somewhere between $1.12 and $1.16 per pound this quarter. That's compared to $1.05 per pound at this time a year ago. She says the higher prices are being driven primarily by higher feed costs following the 2012 drought. Alexander says many stores will feature turkeys at below cost or offer special prices for frequent shoppers or larger birds. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Jan Dugan. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.